Archangel Michael says, the message that slipped through their hands was not just a string of careless words, it was a window into the shadow they tried to hide. The phone glowed in their palm, and their fingers typed with the nervous speed of someone who thought no one was watching. But heaven was watching, and the truth that spilled into that text cannot be erased. What was written about you carried weight, words sharp enough to slice trust, words soaked in a bitterness they had no courage to voice in front of you. They told their ex things about your character, twisting your kindness into weakness, mocking your patience as though it was foolishness. Each word dripped with betrayal, not just to you, but to the bond you carried with them in silence. It was not a slip of the tongue, it was a deliberate act, a secret confession sent to someone who should no longer have that access. What they said was meant to belittle you, to make their ex feel superior, to create a false picture of you as someone undeserving. But heaven intercepted that lie, because your name cannot be dragged in shadows without divine justice answering back. The angels trembled at the sight, because they know the destruction words can create. You did not deserve to be spoken of in this way, especially not to someone who once left scars on their past. The betrayal sits heavy, but the truth will never remain hidden for long. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They thought their secret chat would vanish into the dark, but the spiritual realm does not allow hidden daggers to remain buried. Their ex smirked reading those words, believing they had gained power again, believing they were pulling strings from afar. But in reality, their laughter is already echoing into judgment, because your name was never meant to be handled with mockery. Each sentence they typed was a seed of poison, yet heaven is preparing to turn that poison into the proof of your strength. The words against your character will become the evidence that clears you and condemns them. And the day will come when those same lips will tremble, forced to confess what they tried to conceal. Your character was painted as fragile, as if your love was too much, as if your loyalty was suffocating. But Archangel Michael knows the truth. Your loyalty is rare, your love is fierce, and your patience is a crown they were never worthy to wear. The angels do not measure you by their words, they measure you by your endurance, and endurance is already marking your victory. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The message thread is not just a digital betrayal, it is a spiritual contract they signed without realizing. Every word spoken against you carries consequences that heaven is already unraveling. What they said in private will now stand as their public undoing. The ex they confided in now carries a copy of their dishonesty. It will not stay between them, it will echo, it will spread, and it will return like a mirror. The universe has already stamped judgment on the betrayal that came through their own hands. You were called weak in that text, as if your compassion was a burden they were tired of carrying. They told their ex that you were too intense, too demanding, too much of everything they could not understand. But those lies cannot outshine the truth of your spirit, because your spirit is already crowned with resilience. Every angel has leaned closer now, recording those words, writing them in a book that cannot be burned or deleted. Your pain has been documented, and your vindication is already waiting. The same phone that carried betrayal will one day carry their apology. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They tried to entertain their ex with stories about you, as if breaking your dignity would earn them favor again. But what they do not see is that every word spoken against you is building a wall between them and their own peace. Your character was not broken, it was tested, and it stands stronger than their deception. The X was listening, smirking, feeding on their complaints, but heaven was also listening. And heaven has the final word, not them, not their X, not anyone else who dares to drag your name into the dust. Justice does not sleep, and your vindication is not delayed. The betrayal was written in quick messages, hidden in emojis, disguised in sarcasm. But the angels know how to decode the unspoken, and they read the intent behind every line. Their intent was to lower you, but all they have done is expose themselves. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The night that followed the betrayal was heavy, as if even the stars refused to shine on their secret. Your heart felt the weight without knowing the details, because energy always moves faster than words. And now heaven confirms that what you sensed was not imagination, it was truth knocking. They told their ex you were too controlling, painting your care as obsession, your love as a cage. But angels know that every gesture you gave was a gift of loyalty, never chains. The lie they spread was not against your actions but against their own inability to hold something pure. The ex, still carrying old bitterness, laughed at those words, enjoying the thought that you were being mocked. But the heavens did not laugh, they trembled, for they know what is written in darkness always demands repayment. What they sowed in hidden conversations is already preparing to be harvested in public shame. Archangel Michael says, your character will not be destroyed by words typed in weakness. It will rise above, shining even brighter, because the truth cannot be silenced forever. The betrayal will turn into evidence of your strength, a weapon against those who tried to bury you. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Their text was not just communication, it was an invitation to darkness, a way of reopening doors that should have stayed shut. The ex now feels emboldened, thinking they have leverage, thinking they are part of a secret against you. But secrets built on lies are fragile, and this one is already cracking at its core. They said you were stubborn, that you never understood them, that you pushed too hard. But the angels saw the truth, you pushed because you believed in them, because you carried their brokenness when no one else would. And instead of honoring your love, they mocked it in the company of someone who never deserved the story. The thread of messages is like a rope, and every sentence they typed is a knot tying them to their own downfall. The ex will not keep their silence, they will show someone, they will whisper it again, and the ripple will expose what was meant to remain hidden. Your name will be cleared by the very ones who tried to soil it. Every shadow they hid behind is being stripped away, every mask they wore is crumbling. The angels are not just watching, they are recording, ensuring your vindication arrives without delay. The pain you carry now is the seed of the honor you will reap. Type Amen to get blessing 888. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They told their ex that you nagged, that you never trusted, that you were always suspicious. But suspicion is born when loyalty is tested by lies, and heaven knows you were only reacting to what your soul already sensed. The angels know your faithfulness, and that truth outweighs every accusation typed behind your back. Your tears are not unnoticed, each one has been counted, and each one is watering the soil of your breakthrough. You are not breaking, you are being prepared for the unveiling of their true face. And when it is revealed, you will see clearly who was for you and who was against you. They mocked your dreams, calling them unrealistic, whispering to their ex that you were too consumed by fantasy. But those dreams are heaven-sent, and no one can tear down what heaven has planted. Their laughter will soon turn into regret, for what they belittled will rise higher than their imagination. Archangel Michael says, "Your spirit is stronger than their betrayal, and your story is not ending in shame." The lies are temporary shadows, but the truth is eternal light that cannot be extinguished. And soon, every secret word spoken against you will be overturned in your favor. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The silence between their messages grew heavier, because guilt always lingers in the spaces not filled with words. They thought deleting the text would erase the evidence, but heaven had already captured it in the unseen scroll. What is hidden in their phone is already written in the light of judgment. They told their ex that you suffocate them with too much care, twisting your tenderness into a burden. But the angels know that love does not suffocate, lies do. And the one who mocked your heart will one day beg to feel it again. Your kindness was described as weakness, your patience mocked as naivety, your sacrifices minimized to nothing. But nothing you gave was wasted. Heaven saw each seed, and every seed will return as a harvest in your favor. Their words cannot cancel your destiny, they only expose their own unworthiness of your loyalty. Even the ex they wrote to felt a strange chill after reading their words. Because deep down, even they knew the things spoken about you were lies, stitched together from resentment and shame. Yet they still smiled, because broken souls feed on destruction. Type Amen to get blessing 111. You did not deserve to be spoken of in this way, and the angels are preparing to restore your honor in front of all. Those who tried to drag your name into dirt will soon be forced to speak it with trembling respect. For heaven does not allow the innocent to remain mocked forever. Their ex, who once walked away, now feels power again, thinking they are reclaiming space in their life. But the truth is that this reunion is built on quicksand, and everything built on lies must collapse. Your name will rise from their conversation like fire rising from ashes. The angels whispered to each other the moment the words left their screen, because betrayal carries a vibration too heavy to ignore. They know the cost of lies, and they know the pain it has planted inside your chest. But they also know the beauty of vindication, and they are preparing to place it in your hands. The next chapter of your story will not be silence, it will be revelation. Their ex will not keep the words hidden. In pride, they will repeat them, and their repetition will be the snare. Everything meant to harm you will circle back on them. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Archangel Michael says, there is no betrayal too hidden for heaven to uncover. Every shadow they wrote in, every disguise they wore, is being stripped away before your very eyes. And though your heart aches now, it will not end in despair, it will end in elevation. The ex was entertained for a moment, but moments do not last. What lasts is truth, and truth is already breaking the fragile bond they thought they rebuilt. Their mockery will not stand against the force of divine justice. You are not forgotten in this betrayal. The angels have wrapped you in protection, making sure the arrows thrown at your name do not pierce your destiny. You are already rising, though the night tries to convince you otherwise. Your character, the very thing they tried to slander, is being polished into something stronger. What they called weakness is the very thing that heaven calls strength. And the crown you wear will shine brighter because of their betrayal. Type Amen to get blessing 313. They tried to compare you with their ex, painting you as less, mocking the very love that set you apart. But comparisons are only made by those too blind to see the value standing in front of them. Your worth was never measured by their words, but by the weight of your spirit. The text they sent is not the end, it is the beginning of their unraveling. What they whispered will become their confession, what they hid will be their exposure. The angels have declared it so, and nothing can overturn heaven's decree. The whispers from that text are already circling like echoes in a hollow room. Every echo grows louder until it returns to the one who spoke it. They cannot silence what they set in motion, and the angels will make sure of that. They thought their ex would protect their words, but protection is not built on dishonor. The same ex they trusted will be the one to share their secret with another. Betrayal cannot be sealed, it spreads until it consumes those who birthed it. Your heart, though aching, is not weak. It is enduring fire, surviving every attempt to reduce it to smoke. And every trial only makes your light harder to extinguish. The ex may smile now, thinking they won some invisible victory. But victories built on lies collapse into dust. And dust is all they will hold when this chapter ends. Type Amen to get blessing 414. Archangel Michael says, the betrayal they thought would crush you is only building your platform of justice. What was said in darkness is already walking into the light. And once it stands in the light, no shadow can reclaim it. They described you as difficult, as hard to handle, twisting your passion into a flaw. But passion is the flame of destiny, and destiny cannot be mocked without consequence. Their words were not just lies, they were judgments that heaven has already overturned. The angels are not still, they are moving, pushing events to reveal what was said. Your vindication is not delayed, it is running toward you, even now. The same text that hurt you will soon defend you. Every tear you cried is not wasted. It is oil upon your crown, preparing you to wear victory like a garment. And when the unveiling comes, even your enemies will have to bow to the truth. Type Amen to get blessing 515. They told their ex you are too much, that your intensity is a problem, that your presence is overwhelming. But what they called overwhelming is simply your light exposing their shadows. And shadows always resist the light, until they are burned away. The angels wrote your name in the book of endurance. Every insult written against you is marked, and every mark will return to the sender. They cannot speak against you without consequence, because you are divinely covered. Their ex, holding those words, now carries a seed of destruction. That seed will not grow into power, it will grow into chaos that consumes both of them. And when it happens, you will stand untouched, shining stronger than ever. You were not designed to be mocked, you were designed to be honored. The betrayal is temporary, but the crown is eternal. And heaven is already lifting it to place on your head. Type Amen to get blessing 616. The text chain may look small, but it carries a storm. Storms begin with whispers, but end with floods. And this flood will wash away every false word spoken about you. They said you nag, they said you doubt, they said you smother. But what they called smothering was care, what they called doubt was intuition, what they called nagging was love. The angels saw your heart, and they defend what man tries to destroy. Archangel Michael says, "Hold steady, for your vindication is closer than you think. Do not fear the shadows, they are already retreating from your light. And soon, the betrayal will collapse under the weight of divine exposure. The X may gloat, holding their secrets like trophies. But trophies built on lies are made of glass, and glass always shatters. When it shatters, the pieces cut only the ones who held it." Type Amen to get blessing 717. The messages they sent behind your back are not gone, they are alive, whispering truths about who they really are. Every sentence was an arrow, but none of them struck you, because heaven blocked them before they could pierce your soul. Instead, the arrows have turned back, flying toward the one who released them. The X thought they gained a victory, laughing at your expense, smiling at your pain. But laughter built on betrayal always ends in silence, and their silence is already approaching. The silence of regret, the silence of exposure, the silence of shame. You will not be the one carrying shame, it will be them. For everything they said about your character is nothing but a reflection of their own. And reflections cannot lie when the light shines directly upon them. The betrayal feels like fire in your chest now, but fire also purifies. It is burning away illusions, burning away attachments, burning away masks. And when the flames die down, only truth will remain standing. Type Amen to get blessing 818. They described you as controlling, but the angels call you protective. They said you are insecure, but heaven calls you discerning. They tried to make you look small, but your destiny has always been larger than their words. Their X, holding those texts, now carries a secret weapon. But that weapon will not harm you, it will explode in their hands. For every lie spoken against you is designed to collapse under its own weight. Archangel Michael says, "Your vindication is written in heaven, and it cannot be erased by human hands. Your story does not end in betrayal, it ends in triumph. The one who mocked you will soon be the one who trembles before your truth." The text thread is not the end of love, it is the end of illusion. You will rise from this knowing exactly who deserves your presence and who does not. And that knowledge is more powerful than any apology they could ever offer. Type Amen to get blessing 919. The X may spread what they heard, whispering your name with twisted meanings. But every whisper is another rope binding them to judgment. And soon, they will be the ones begging for release from the very trap they built. You were never weak. Weakness does not endure storms, weakness does not hold on when knives are flying. You are strong, and your strength is what threatens those who cannot match it. The betrayal in text form is a mirror of their soul. It shows emptiness, fear, and cowardice. And cowardice cannot stand in the presence of someone chosen by heaven. Even as you read these words, the angels are moving, shifting events, stirring hearts. They are preparing to reveal the truth in a way that no one can deny. And when it comes, your name will shine brighter than ever. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. They said you were not enough, but heaven says you are more than enough. They said you were too much, but heaven says you are exactly what was needed. Their contradictions are proof of their confusion, not your character. The X, who thought they had won, will soon be left in silence. Because lies can only carry power for a moment, but truth carries power forever. And your truth is about to speak louder than every text they sent. The angels are gathering around you now, lifting you higher than the pain that tried to break you. They are singing your vindication, declaring your restoration, protecting your path. The betrayal has ended their story, but it has only begun yours. Archangel Michael says, "This is the closing of one chapter and the opening of another." You will not return to chains disguised as love. You will walk forward with clarity, with honor, with divine strength. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. The phone that carried betrayal will one day carry their confession. They will beg to explain, beg to erase, beg to start over. But heaven will make sure you never again bow to their shadows. Your dignity is being restored right now. Every step you take from here is a step into freedom. Freedom from lies, freedom from betrayal, freedom from shadows. Your name is covered, protected, and exalted. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. The words they typed are no longer just texts, they are chains wrapped around their own future. Every sentence has a consequence, every secret has a cost, and they are about to pay it in full. You, however, are stepping into a season where lies no longer touch your crown. The ex they confided in is not loyal to them, they are loyal only to chaos. Chaos always craves fire, and fire always burns its source. Their alliance was born in betrayal, and betrayal devours itself in the end. You will not be dragged into their collapse. You are shielded, your path cleared, your spirit elevated. The angels have already separated you from their downfall. The words meant to destroy you are now working to expose them. The texts will be their undoing, their shame, their scar. And while they tremble, you will rise with even greater honor. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. They told their ex you were not the one, whispering as if love had left them empty. But what they called emptiness was simply their own ungratefulness. Ungrateful hearts always lose the very treasures they take for granted. Archangel Michael says, your worth was never defined by their blind words. Your worth is carved into eternity, and no betrayal can rewrite it. They can speak, but they cannot alter the truth of who you are. Even now, their ex is beginning to see cracks in the mask. They sense desperation in every message, weakness in every complaint. Because the one who speaks against love always exposes their own lack of it. The lies against your character are already returning home. Returning with force, returning with proof, returning with judgment. And nothing they say now can stop the echo of their own words. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. They tried to make you look small, but you were never small, you were always larger than their fear. They tried to twist your patience into control, but patience has always been a sign of strength. Their story about you is collapsing because it was never built on truth. The angels are aligning events so the truth will not only come out, it will come out at the perfect moment. The moment when exposure hurts them the most, the moment when your honor shines brightest. Timing is heaven's weapon, and it is working in your favor. You will not have to fight with words. The fight has already been taken from your hands and placed into heaven's hands. All you need to do is stand, endure, and watch. The ex who thought they held power is about to lose it. Because power borrowed from lies does not last. And lies always collapse faster than they rise. Type Amen to get blessing 1515.